I applied to the University of Edinburgh. Okay, I had a lot of these. I think we had this exact one. Yeah. This is the one. These ones are it. These ones are the best. Look at how cute! Look at how cute these are. I feel like it's been a little while since I vlogged, but I am back, ready to make a new one for the new year, continue on our winter journey. I have just put the camera down for a little bit. I was dealing with a few health issues off screen, so that's where I've been. I did go home for Christmas, back to my hometown, but now I'm back in like what I consider home now. This morning I went on a walk in the snow. It's snowing today, very happy girl, and I saw all of the winter birds that are now, they've been here for a little bit I think, but I haven't really seen too much of them, but they were in my neck of the woods this morning. I could see them from my window and I wanted to go down and say hello, meet them. The bird watching this morning was just supreme. It was just wonderful. Got to see long-tailed ducks, which I just feel like they need to be called something much more beautiful because they are gorgeous ducks. They are beautiful. They're only here for the winter. They are just so gorgeous, the males and the females, and the noises they make are so cute. And then I also saw a lot of I think they're just called common goldeneye. They are so beautiful as well. Their heads are really huge and they have like these white spots on their cheeks and kind of golden eyes, so that was cool. And of course I saw like our mallard ducks and the seagulls, and a couple swans were there, the Canadian geese were there. And then right when I got back into my apartment, what flew right in front of my window? A bald eagle. A bald freaking eagle. The first one I've seen here, and it was incredible. I was like, that is not a bald eagle, that's gotta be a turkey vulture, that's gotta be a red-tailed hawk. No, my friends, it was a bald eagle. Had a really good morning, and now I'm just ready to I don't want to set any big goals for 2025. I don't want to do anything crazy. I do have a couple small things in mind. I've been, not gonna lie, struggling with my mental health in terms of anxiety a lot, so much recently. So much. I wish it would just take a hike. I wish it would just go away. It's kind of the energy that I want to bring with me into this year. It's just like, don't be scared of things, but if you're gonna be scared of something, just do it scared anyway, kind of thing. So the two things might not seem scary to you, but they're scary to me, and I'll explain a little bit why, I guess. I went ice skating for the first time in 5 years, and I went skiing for the first time ever. I went skiing for the first time ever. I told my brother that's what I wanted for Christmas, if he would just accompany me to the ski hill, because he's gone skiing before but I've never been. So that's what we did. These two things would not normally be scary to me in any way. Like, I've loved skating my whole life and I've always wanted to go skiing. 5 years ago, oh my god, 5 years ago, doing YouTube at the time. A lot of you who have been here since then know of it and know the toll it had on me for years. It still does. I still struggle with things relating to this, but 5 years ago I suffered a pretty severe concussion, brain injury, and it, don't say ruined my life, it changed the course of my life, and it did a lot of things to the plans that I had made. I had to withdraw completely from the year of university I was in. I lost that entire year of school plus one more because I couldn't get back to it. I was extremely sick for a very long time. I went to at least, I think the final number was like 13 different doctors. I get so many messages from people being like, thank you for talking about post-concussion syndrome and all this stuff. So anyway, long story short, once I got better to like actually go and do these things, I didn't. I was like, I am never gonna go skating again. I am never gonna go to a theme park again. I am never going to do gymnastics or a handstand or a cartwheel again because I don't want to injure myself again. Queen of avoidance. I put myself in a protective bubble, and for the past, I don't know, for the past year, I've been like punching out of this damn bubble, and I'm very proud of myself that like I did go ice skating. I had a great time. I did go skiing. I had a great time. I only wiped out once and I was fine. So it's like, I just need to go out there, push myself, because I'm like, Emma, like obviously you don't want to, you know, hurt yourself again. The off chance that you might get another concussion, oh my goodness, scary. And it is scary, but also I feel like what I'm coming to realize now and like growing with it is the thing that's more scary is like limiting yourself, inhibiting yourself, and living in fear, when I just want to go out there and like live my life come what may and know that I am hopefully strong enough and like able enough to deal with anything that comes my way. I was terrified, beyond terrified, to go skiing. My brother only took me down the bunny hill 3 times before he was like, yeah, let's hit the big slopes. Then when I moved here and like started creating vlogs that were just more me again, I wanted to continue doing things that scared me and like sharing that and like having kind of a little notebook journal of it. So with that being said, here's me embarrassing myself on the slopes. Okay guys,
It's not very bright.
we're going skiing.
We're going.
It's really warm. Okay, how's it going?
You know what? We hit a kid on the first real run of the day.
Oh, we are stopped.
She wiped out in front of me.
I thought you were supposed to go under this thing.
What? No, you're allowed to go.
He's jumping.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, we hit a kid the first run of the day. Okay, now get your butt in between both skis.
Wow, that was a good start, eh?
Ooh.
So how we doing?
Well, so far, Emma has finally had her first wipeout.
I wasn't even on the freaking...
It was before the hill. It was before the hill, but it was funny. And I haven't wiped out in a while, so we're doing good. We're getting so good. Oh, no, not quite. They're recovering. You're doing so good.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. For the first time skiing, it was great. First time skiing. We're going to have to put you on X Games. All right, stay Black Diamond. We've been skiing for about, what, 2 hours now? No, it's 8, so like 2.5.
Yeah.
And Emma's finally ready to do her first Black Diamond. Are we excited? We're over top of it right now. How many kids have you seen wipe out here?
Not many of the kids are
1 or
better
2.
than me.
They really are. They start young. You're gonna eat shit.
Is now, oh, I have a baby joining me. I just made a cup of decaf. I'm gonna be trying my best to finish Little Women. I have not yet finished Little Women. It was the Game of Tomes book club pick for November and December of 2024, and I haven't finished it yet, but as you can see, I read a lot of it in 2024. It's my first time reading Little Women, and it's just been incredible. It's been absolutely incredible, and I don't want it to be over, and I'm gonna stick it in the freezer. Okay, I'm gonna stick it in the freezer. So incredibly good. If you've never read Little Women, I was someone who never thought that I wanted to read Little Women. It was never a classic that I gravitated towards. I, for some reason, thought it was gonna be really dry. It's not dry at all. It's incredibly readable. It was written for like a younger audience, but it's just absolutely for everyone and anyone. It's incredible. It is about these 4 sisters living in Massachusetts during the Civil War era, and it's just so good, so good. I actually watched the movie first, the 2019 version, before reading the book, and now that I've started reading the book, I'm actually watching the, is it 1994? With like Winona Ryder and Christian Bale, and Claire Danes is in it. What are you doing? Oh, big boy. Oh, are you gonna read with me? Callie Welly. He probably wants something else to lay on. I'll give you $10 if he doesn't lay on that thing. Having watched the film first and having read most of the book now, my favorite character was and still is Beth. I love Beth so much. She is I always thought she was the youngest March sister. I think because the casting in the films is sometimes a little like off in terms of who you think is what age, but Beth was my favorite in the film, and honestly in both versions. I love Claire Danes as Beth in the older movie, and I don't know who the actress is in the newer one, but I honestly love her as Beth more. And if we're talking about the film versions in general, I just love Beth, and then obviously Jo, and then probably Meg and Amy. Amy is my least favorite March sister. I'm so sorry. She's going through a lot where I am right now, so maybe I'll grow to like her a little bit more, but I think just when she burned Jo's manuscript, that was it for me. Yeah, if we're talking about the films, I do prefer Ronan's portrayal of Jo. She just is Jo. I'm not a fan of Winona Ryder's performance as Jo so far yet. I'm only about like almost halfway through the movie, the older version. I do prefer Christian Bale as Laurie to Timothée Chalamet. I'm not a big Chalamet fan, so Christian Bale, I just think he's like kind of, I don't know, I just kind of like his portrayal a little bit more. Who else do I like? I prefer the 1994 version of Meg. I don't know who that actress is, honestly, in the older version who plays Meg, but I prefer her performance to Emma Watson's. I love Emma Watson. I just don't think she did. I don't know. I just didn't buy her performance in the newer version. Both Amy's, I think, are doing a fantastic job, but I do like how in the older version, like, you can tell that Amy is the youngest sister, because when I first watched Little Women, I thought that Beth was the youngest and that Jo was the eldest. That, like, clocked in my mind, so then reading the novel, I got really confused when they were like, no, Meg's the eldest and Amy's the youngest. I was like, wait, but Beth is the youngest. There we go. I don't have to pay you $10. Look at that. He's gonna get comfy on it, I can tell. I'm having such a good time with this book. I don't want it to be over. And you know what? Do you know what part I'm at? I think I'm at the Jo, we gotta have it out part. In the film, it was not, Joe and Laurie's relationship was not as heartbreaking to me because I really felt, and I wasn't that into their relationship as a romantic thing because obviously Laurie has fallen like for Joe and stuff like that, but I really liked Professor Bear and Joe like the whole time, so I was like totally chill with it. In the book, however, like I feel like Louisa May Alcott just captures the relationship so much more for me, and she just makes it so real. And in the book, I am actually quite upset about the whole Joe Laurie thing, and that's the chapter I'm on. No, it's no use, Joe. I will, and you must hear me. It's no use, Joe. I gave up billiards. He gave up billiards. Wow, they really had to do those chapters back to back. Louisa May Alcott. So, the goal today is to finish Little Women. I don't want to, but I do want to because honestly, I was most enjoying the sections like at the beginning of the book in their childhood, and I've like lost enjoyment slightly, just a little bit, as they keep getting older and older, probably because I'm just so like nostalgic now for their youth, and I just want to go back and read all of their sections again. But I only have, I think, 30 or 45 pages left, so yeah, we're gonna finish this today, which is good because I've been reading it for a while and I feel ready today to finish the book, see what happens. I'm also excited to see a little bit clearer because I got some new glasses. I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Pear Eyewear. I've worked with Pear before, used their glasses before, and when they reached out again to send me some new frames, I was like, yes, please. So these are my new glasses. I think you've already seen them. I really like them. I wanted to go for a different color that I haven't had before, so I chose these in like this nice clearish blue, darker blue color. However, I don't think you're ready for this. I always wanted glitter glasses. When I was in elementary school and like kids had glasses, they always had those like glittery ones, and I was so jealous because I didn't need glasses in elementary school, and I was like, I want glitter glasses. If you've never heard of Pear Eyewear, like this is crazy. You have one pair of glasses, but you can change your top frame to get kind of any look that you want without having to get a whole different new set of glasses. The base frame that I got, which is these cute blue ones, this is called the Murphy, and then I got 3 top frames to slap on, which is nice. They're just magnetic, they go on incredibly easily, so versatile, but it's just the easiest thing in the world. The top frames that I got, I obviously got white. I got the really nice maroon. I was also able to add in my Pear base frame the blue light blocker, which is nice. This is something I always get in my glasses. If you go on Pear Eyewear's website, you'll be able to see a virtual try-on tool. You don't have to go to the store to try on any pairs of glasses, and then you'll be able to see what the different pairs of glasses looks like on you. I love that. Whatever like the mood of the day that I'm feeling, or even like with my outfit, because like these ones I would leave just like as the base blue, but if I was wearing something a little bit more neutral, I would definitely go with this color, and then this one to match any like, I don't know, just brighter outfits I was wearing. Kind of like a lab goggle look, which I'm kind of into. If you just want your glasses to be solely a fashion accessory, these are the ones for you. If you guys are looking for new glasses or for a new fashion piece to add to your look, then you can use my code emreads15 to get 15% off your order at paireyewear.com. Sorry, it fell on you. You look like... Arnold, do you want food? I bet you don't want any food.
you still want it? You're a very patient man. You're so patient, Angel baby.
Oh, thank you. Can you come up? Yeah. Tonight we are preparing the part of my master's application that is the writing sample. So that is what I'm going to be working on tonight. I started working on it last night and I'm not confident that I can finish it by tonight, but we're going to make some, I think, good progress on it. It's already 8 p.m. so I have a couple hours to work on it before I hit the gym tonight. The problem remains that the requirement, at least for the application I'm working on tonight, is capped at 15 pages and my thesis is over 25 pages long. So that means I need to somehow cut out 10 pages while still making the thesis like a solid piece of work, which is actually pretty hard. It's a lot harder to cut out stuff than add stuff and boost your word count. So today we're just playing operation essentially. Tonight we're just going to be operating on this paper and cutting out stuff, and then hopefully having a finished product that is just a little bit chipped down, you know, like a little ice sculpture that we've just needed to cut away the excess ice, which is also funny because the paper is on glaciers. We are right back to it the morning after. I worked on this until about 10, went to the gym, came back, kind of just went to bed after that. Didn't get a very good sleep. I even surprised myself by like waking up and just immediately getting to it without even having my morning coffee. I know, but it's now a little bit later in the afternoon. I've taken a break, I've done some other things, and I'm returning to this because I have finally succeeded in cutting this down to 15 pages. And now I just want to do one final read through before I add this to my submission, just to make sure everything is okay. So that is what I'm gonna do. And then I just got the email, I think last night actually, that the transcripts I requested have come in, so I need to look through those, attach those, and then we might actually be getting really close to finishing my first application. And I feel like once the first one is done, the rest of them will just be so much smoother because I'll have pretty much everything ready and I'll just need to make more minor adjustments to them. So my heart is beating so fast. I'm sweating. I am going over like the final details of my submission because I read through finally my whole thesis again now that it's been downgraded 10 pages, and everything I think looks okay there. And I just uploaded my transcripts. I just did all the little bits and bobs, so now I'm just reviewing the whole application for this university. And then I think I'm gonna submit it tonight after I pay the fee. Oh my gosh, the fees for each university, it really makes you want to not apply to a lot, because just to submit this application is $140. I'm just crossing my fingers that I get accepted, basically. So I will let you know when I'm done my review process and we will submit this together. Am I still in my pajamas? Yes, I haven't been doing any work this morning that requires me to get out of pajamas, which is nice. And then I turned the camera on and I was like, should I change out of my pajamas for you? No, I have done a little something. I'm scared. Let's talk grad school, because you guys saw me apply to a university out west earlier, and now I have finished, I think I have officially finished applying to grad school. It honestly required a lot more work than I thought it would, and it's done. I applied to a university that is far, and it may or may not be in Scotland. I applied to the University of Edinburgh. Edinburgh! Interesting. I'm so scared. Now, I don't really want to like talk about this or like hype this up for too long, other than just to be like, I can't believe I actually applied, because number one, do I realistically think, am I delusional enough to think that I'm actually gonna get in? I feel like I won't. I seriously feel like I won't. I feel like it's a decently competitive university. I feel like, I don't know how many spots are really open, and I'm not sure for like the specific program that I applied to, how many people are applying or whatever, but I feel like I'm not gonna get in. Is kind of the sense that I have. However, I do also acknowledge, and this is why it's making me so anxious, is that there is a slight, very real possibility that I do. And that's what's making me incredibly anxious, because I'm just a baby. I'm leaving my country and moving across, not across the world, but it is across the world, okay? It's across the pond, and it's a big pond. No frogs. I said when I moved here, we would be, getting out the oyster shell. I think I was trying to go for like the world is my oyster kind of thing, and say yes to new experiences and follow my dreams. But as I told my mom on FaceTime the other day, my dreams are making me nauseous. Yeah, why did I apply to Edinburgh? I feel like Scotland, like when I first started learning as a youngster about like the world and like other places that weren't just where I lived, Scotland always had this like mythical hold upon me, and it still does. I've never been to Scotland. We are going to be trying to change that relatively soon. Yeah, Scotland has always just kind of had a little pull on my soul. A little pull, like look what I'm wearing right now. Just always felt like a very Emma place, and whether that's literally, again, delusion in my mind or whether that's actually true remains to be seen. So and I mean, Edinburgh looks incredibly amazing. Of course, I applied to English literature there, and now we are gonna wait and see. Like half of me wants to get in, and the other half is like, please God, do not accept my application, because then I won't have to deal with the fact that a dream could come true. Does that make sense? Like the dream is a little bit, for me as an extremely anxious person, the dream is a little bit too scary. But I want to do things. Like it's really been hitting me ever since moving here and like feeling alive again, that like this is it. You know, this is all you get. You just get this life, probably, as far as I know, and then it's over. So why don't you go do every single thing that you want to do if you can? Because like obviously this is probably going to be denied me. The university I've applied to, the one in Canada, is in British Columbia, which is again pretty far. That's all the way on the west coast. That's one of our westernmost provinces. That's just been giving me a lot of complicated feelings because that means I'm gonna have to leave this place. And I always knew, like when I moved in here, that this was probably just gonna be like a 1-year kind of stint at this place. But I've fallen in love with it. Ontario has some like fantastic universities. I just don't wanna stay here. But interestingly, like there's been a lot of differences because I've only applied to a university in Canada and a university in Scotland. And Canada, first of all, it's pretty expensive to apply, which again is kind of one of the reasons that a lot of people choose to keep like the places that they apply to a low number, I guess, because just to apply to the one university out west was almost $150, whereas I was shocked that to apply to Edinburgh, completely free. Weird thing though is that Edinburgh like didn't want a writing sample, so like going through the process for Canada and Scotland has been just like so different and interesting because like Canada was like, yeah, like we want your best writing sample, we want to see your best work. Edinburgh was like, don't care. I think both of the universities offer like different things that I really enjoy. The one in Canada seems to really align with like my more like environmental, ecological lit thing that I want to do, and this whole study of like glaciers and the cold and even like hotels and maybe glacial tourism that I kind of want to focus on. Both master's degrees do culminate in like a thesis, so you do have to like provide a little bit in your application of what you think your research is going to be, and so I just think the one in Canada like aligns with that so much more. It seems like a very like, it just seems like a university with a mindset and this drive to study subjects and topics that like I'm incredibly interested in, while Edinburgh seems a lot more formal and traditional. It does appeal to me because they offer a bunch of different masters in English literature actually, and they do it by time period in this case. So they're taught masters where like, you know, you take a bunch of classes and then at the end you write a big paper. They offer like just one master's in literature from like 1600 to 1700, for example. They offer a bunch of different ones, and I obviously applied to like a specific strain, a specific time period. So that interests me as well because that's a little bit more focused on the time period that I'm in, whereas Canada is more broad, which like also has its merits. So I think it's just going to be really hard. They both appeal to me for different reasons. But if you are someone who lives in Scotland or Edinburgh, please like tell me what your experience has been like, just what it's like, because yeah, like obviously I've attended info sessions with people from the university, but that's really about it.
Many more of you will not know much about the university or indeed Scotland.
Scotland. Oh my god, the accent. I have no idea what the situation is like in Scotland, what it's like to live in Scotland, what the city of Edinburgh is like really at all. I've heard it's obviously gorgeous. I've heard it's incredibly walkable. It's big but feels small. It's, you know, there's nature, there's, I mean, is it not the UNESCO City of Literature? We won't know anything for another few months, so now I'm just gonna sit and stew in anxiety. I love waiting. That's the other thing, that Edinburgh has just asked me for the weirdest documents of my life. Like obviously I'm applying from like an international perspective, but they're like, hey, we need a form. We need like a certified letter, a certificate, an official letter from your university that says that your degree in English literature was taught in English. No, my English degree was taught in French. Is that yours? Is that your little mouse box? Is that your mouse box, baby? You're so orange. You're so orange. I have just gotten myself like back together again. It's almost, I think it's almost 5 p.m., but I have had a migraine since, oh, I'm getting a call, hold on. That was my brother taunting me with how much snow they have back home. Just got myself put together after having a migraine all of last night and all of today pretty much. I was just in bed the whole day with a really bad migraine, and it's just so frustrating because I'm like, I have a million things to do. I want to be doing things. I don't want to be confined to bed in excruciating pain all day, but I'm just grateful it's gone, at least for now. It might come back later, but I'm hoping it's gonna stay away. So in my purgatory, I had a little bit of company with an audiobook when, like, sometimes even just listening or trying to concentrate on anything when you have a migraine is too much. But I did manage to listen a little bit to My Lady Jane. Let's have a little chat. I might make us some tea. Really just tea for me, but you can see it. I started watching My Lady Jane last year and I loved it. I loved it. If you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon. Unfortunately, they did cancel it after one season, but I know there's a really big petition. I haven't signed it, but I should, to bring back and save My Lady Jane because it was honestly one of the better like young adult TV shows I had seen in such a long time. It was so good. I thought it was so actually funny. And well done. And I think they just did such a good job with it. And so that, like, seeing the TV show is what made me want to read the book. So I finally picked it up on audio. I usually always have an audio and a physical book on the go, so My Lady Jane. However, with the TV show, and something that is just very, it's always been a thing with me, I, for the love of whatever, can't finish it. I can't finish watching TV shows or movies. Like halfway through, I just give them up and I like never get back to them. I think it's because I don't watch TV like at all really, and the only movie that like I actually sat down and put on for myself for like the first time all year was in those weird days before the New Year and after Christmas. It's because I grew up with like the you should be doing something else rather than watching TV kind of vibe, and so I always feel guilty whenever I try to watch TV or watch a movie because I'm always like, oh, I should be doing something else with my time. It's the thing I haven't broken out of, and I just have never like been able to go all the way with something and like finish something, and I wish I could because I was loving My Lady Jane, so I'm gonna give it another try. There are about 1 million TV shows that I have started and that I've just stopped because like inevitably I'll go through a phase. It's kind of like once a year where I'm like, I'm gonna watch a TV show, like I'm in the mood to watch TV, when like I never am, and then inevitably before like the season is over, I don't finish the show. It's happened with One Piece, it happened with My Lady Jane, and I've never finished Peaky Blinders, which I loved. I've never finished, I started watching The Vampire Diaries a long time ago, never finished that. I've just started so many things and like films that I've just never finished. The one movie I did finish that like I did watch from start to finish because it was in like, I feel like this weird period of laziness and just becoming a couch. That's the only time that I allow myself the feeling to be like, okay, it's fine to like watch a movie, because in my mind, for some reason, even though like I seriously value the movie as an art form, I'm just like, oh no, I can't be doing this. I should be doing something else. The movie was Chocolat. I think it's just called Chocolat. When is this from? This is from the early 2000s. It's been on my list for a while, but like honestly, I watch like 5 or 6 movies a year. I watch 5 or 6 movies a year. And I kind of want to watch more because there's honestly a lot of movies that I want to watch, but this one I just liked. This felt like a movie I would have watched in my high school French class because, I don't know, it just felt like a movie you would watch at school. It's about this very strict, religious, small French town. It's set during the Lenten period, so we're all going on Lent, and of course the thing that they're giving up is chocolate. But lo and behold, this woman breezes into town. She's a single mother with her daughter, and she opens up a chocolate shop. And it's just really sweet. It's really sweet. I really liked it. And I watched the whole thing. Not in one sitting, because again, I feel like I can't ever watch a movie in one sitting, but I did finish this film. So that is the last film, or no, the first film that I watched this year. To get back to My Lady Jane, I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. I want to buy the book. I want to buy the book, but that kind of leads me into the thing I'm going to talk about after this because I can't buy the book, and I'll tell you why. But so good. If you have not heard of My Lady Jane, I think it's 3 authors. They have taken Lady Jane Grey, who was Queen of England for I think only 9 days. She was the queen after Edward died, and they have rewritten history. They've added fantasy elements into it, and they've just completely like fleshed out her life. And they're like, no, she didn't get like beheaded after 9 days. This is what happened instead. I think it's so funny. I think it's so funny. I think it really is just like a very comically light, clever, enchanting book, and I love it, and I love the TV show, and I'm so sad that it's canceled. But yeah, you follow Jane, who is a big bookworm, and she's also very fascinated with the magic of the world. She wishes that she possessed it herself, because in this world there are people who are known as Ethians, and they can transform into an animal. They all have like a different animal. I'm not really sure like what determines what animal you can transform into. I don't think you pick it, but she's always wanted that because that would allow her a lot more freedom in, you know, the Tudor period, if she could just transform and kind of fly away. Edward, the king, the current king, who is also a teenager, is dying, and in order to kind of secure the line a little bit because of the politically I don't know, because of the political situation with the whole Ethian thing, because England people are either like really for or against Ethians, and Mary and Elizabeth, they are not like really good political choices for the whole Ethian debacle. So they want Jane to marry Lord Gifford. Guildford? I thought in the show they were saying Guildford, but in the audiobook it sounds like she's saying Gifford. He's an Ethian. Neither of them want to get married, but it's an arranged marriage. They're forced to marry each other. They are complete strangers to one another. They have never met before, and he is an Ethian who turns into a horse. So she becomes like the ultimate horse girl, and she marries a horse. But his thing is that it's like rather a curse upon him, because during the day he is a horse all day long. From 9 to 5, he's a horse. He's working in the fields. He's eating the hay. And only when the sun goes down does he become a human man once again. So it's just it's so funny. I honestly think it's so funny. And it's so over the top. It's so outrageous. And I just think it's a really clever piece of work. So I'm enjoying my time immensely with My Lady Jane. I'm really enjoying it. I would buy it. You know what? I would buy the physical copy and read it for myself, except that I have decided that this year, for all of 2025, I'm not going to buy a single book. Pains me. It pains me to say. It pains me to say. I feel the pain in my soul as I say that, but I've decided in a more broader conversation, I guess, to go on a little bit of a no-buy year. I've seen this concept a lot. I feel like it's pretty trendy right now, where people are just like, yeah, I'm not going to buy anything all year long. Like, this is just going to be a year of saving. And I was like thinking about that all throughout last year. I'm like, yeah, that would be really cool. I would like to do that. Like, really just like to do that. So this year I've kind of decided that we're gonna give it a try. I'm not gonna buy any new books. Like, that is the biggest one for sure. That being said, did I go on one final book buying spree during the Boxing Day sale week and order a multitude of books? And do I have a huge book haul coming your way? Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, because I needed to stock the shelves one more time before my no-buy year. People really personalize their no-buy year, so it could just be like, oh, I want to save money on like eating out, or I don't want to buy clothing or something like that. For me, I kind of want to make it all-encompassing. I don't want to buy anything. Obviously, this is not including necessities like food and cat food and anything else that I might need. Like, for example, the other day I bought pimple patches. Anything that is not, it's just very subjective. It's very subjective for me. I'm not gonna buy clothing. I'm not gonna buy books. I'm not gonna buy, I don't know, any other thing. It's really just the book thing. It's really just the book thing that I spend, I wanna say, most of my money on. I like the, I guess, minimalist, if that's what you wanna call it, approach to it. I feel like I don't need anything. I just want to appreciate what I have. Save. That's another obviously big goal, is just save money. I will hopefully, this is gonna be so embarrassing if I keep telling you like, hey, I'm starting grad school this year, and then lo and behold, I don't get any offers. that would take me down a peg. But that's another reason why I was motivated to start the No Buy year, is that I want to save for going into grad school and save for tuition, because these things are pretty expensive. So this year is going to be solely focused on reading my shelves, which like I have been doing pretty well, but I did buy quite a few books last year. And now that I'm in a new place again, I would like to get a local library card, another one to add to my collection. I'm gonna be that person with like a trench coat. When you open it up, they just have library cards everywhere, all of their library cards. So that is my update on the No Buy year. I'll let you know how it's going. Let me know if you want updates. Let me know if you want, I don't know, anything else to do with that. It's 5:11 p.m. and I'm going to clean the apartment because I have just every time after I feel really sick and then kind of come out of it and start to feel better, the first thing that I want to do is just like air out the space completely, you know? Open all the windows, run the vacuum, do the dishes, everything like that. It just really is like a reset for me mentally. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep drinking a butt ton of water and probably keep listening to my audiobook of My Lady Jane. Let's go! Is it your turn? Ready? 1, 2, 3. I have a delivery.